Member for Wanguri.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, I rise today to support the Treasurer's Appropriation 2025 Bill and Revenue Legislation Amendment 2025 Bill, which the Treasurer delivered the 2025 budget to the House. Territorians in August voted for change, and as they could see that the crime crisis was crippling our economy and eroding our unique lifestyle. This budget now looks at moving forward through certainty, action and security. Madam Speaker, for too long, Territorians did not have certainty. They had no action and no security from the opposition Labor government in the last 8 years of governing. This budget now looks at completing the projects that have blown out with Labor's mismanagement of public funds, but now looks at spending to getting back to basics and moving the Territory back on the map where it belongs as a place to raise your families and retire in peace. Madam Speaker, the 2025 Northern Territory budget is a budget that restores confidence and rebuilds our Territory by putting victims of crime first with prioritising law and order. We've invested $1.5 billion into public order and safety. I welcome this spending as it improves the safety of the community, which Labor left us with a mess. Madam Speaker, as the government continues to invest in rebuilding the economy and restoring our lifestyle, I applaud this government in listening to the families in the Wanguri electorate with cost of living pressures. With about 15% of the residents are senior members, it's great to hear that the pensioner and carers concession scheme is extended. These residents rely on these concessions to retain them living in the Territory where they have contributed to during their working life. I know my seniors in the Leanya Senior Village will be grateful. Madam Speaker, it's refreshing to hear this government is investing in the future of the Territory by looking at long-term goals and not short-sighted like the previous Labor government. Now, Madam Speaker, the member for Drysdale in his address reminded me in that Labor cannot deliver because they're not listening and they could not see that our Territory was heading into financial crisis. And Madam Speaker, as the member who worked in the financial industry, many Territorians in 2007 suffered financially during the global financial crisis, and the Territory was heading in the same direction pre-August last year. Territorians could not suffer financially any further downturn in the economy post-August last year. Madam Speaker, being last on the CommSec report for a number of recent quarters, this is not where we belong. The people of the Territory in August drew a line in the sand and said enough is enough, and we want to move the Territory forward with this government. And now the Treasurer has delivered a budget that looks at cleaning up the Labor mess and move that Territory forward. Madam Speaker, we're spending responsibly for safer communities with record spending of our hard-working police and emergency services workers, and also boosting funding for corrections to address pressures associated with rising prison numbers and make our community safer. We're spending responsibly in our justice system. We are giving Territorians cost of living relief in different areas, such as no increase to car registration for 12 months, free driver's licences for 12 months, payroll tax exemption and payroll tax threshold increases for business, and first homeowner grants for those who wish to set roots here in the Territory. Madam Speaker, the list is longer. We are spending responsibly in education, and I'm pleased that finally the Leanya Primary School in my electorate is getting $1.5 million to upgrade their administration block, and this is long overdue. We are spending responsibly for domestic, family and sexual violence prevention, early intervention and response. Madam Speaker, we're spending responsibly and investing in our youth, who are our next generation. The announcement of the Youth Hub in the Wanguri electorate at the Leanya Recreation Park is a great positive announcement with $4.6 million to be spent. This is a fantastic outcome for all young people and families across Wanguri and the wider northern suburbs. Madam Speaker, by placing the Youth Hub at the Leanya Recreation Park, we're making sure it's a place that's welcoming, inclusive and easy to access. I know my colleagues in the neighbouring electorates, member for Sanderson, member for Karama, will work with me in making sure that the space does support all youth who wish to use it. Madam Speaker, there have been some concerns from some residents nearby about the potential of antisocial behaviour this may bring. But we have a blueprint to build on that and get this right, as there is a current youth hub temporarily working at Sanderson Middle School, and this will now give them a permanent home to continue that great work. Madam Speaker, we are spending responsibility for infrastructure works around the Territory for all, and I will reframe that to saying that we are investing in our infrastructure to ensure that money is spent providing economic value to the Territory. Madam Speaker, I wish to thank all the government departments across the Territory and the Treasury Department for all the work they've done to prepare the budget for all. As the Assistant Minister for Treasury, I wish to thank the Treasurer for bringing a budget to the House that is sensible and provides the action, certainty and security for all residents of Wanguri and the Territory as a whole. Madam Speaker, I commend the bill to the House.